Hey everybody, it's Queen Jelly and welcome back to the Toy Box. And first of all, Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate. We're going to be opening my Christmas present now, which is very exciting. If you have not seen it, a few days ago on the 23rd was my birthday, and I posted a video that day of opening my birthday present, which was Alice, which hopefully if I remember to, I will link that video in the description box below. But this is the Mattel Creations exclusive Alice, and this is the Mattel Creations exclusive Maleficent. So these were presents, as I said, for Christmas and my birthday. The same person did get me both. They used a buy one get one free sale that unfortunately is no longer happening. But as of when I recorded Alice a few days ago, I have not checked, but probably if I pause for any point during this video, I will go check. But I do believe both of these are still available, but at their full prices. This was $100 for Alice and $150 for Maleficent, if I remember correctly. But yes, I very much love my Alice, and so I definitely recommend going and watching that video if you can. But on to Maleficent, which I'm so ecstatic for. This is a doll that I really wanted. So very, very excited about her. I have already taken a look at her because I was showing the person who got it for me, I opened it up in front of them and everything. So I've already taken a look at her, but we're going to go ahead and just look at the box first. This is a slip cover that goes up. So it's not quite as nice of a presentation as the Alice, because the Alice opened so that you could leave them in the box and see pretty easily. This one you do have to remove the dust cover. It says Maleficent Darkness Descends series. So I assumed that they're going to be a series of villains. So far in this series, we've only seen Maleficent, because the other future Disney dolls that they've released so far have not been part of this Darkness Descends series. I don't know if Alice had a specific series. I think it may have just been because of the 100, because looking at the stand, I think that's the 100 stand, even though it doesn't say 100 on it. But I think they kind of started this Dark Descent series and then we're like, oh wait, we need to do dolls for the 100th anniversary, because there's also an Elsa and Anna 2-pack that's $100 that I'm looking at, that is also Mattel Creations set. And that is for the 10th anniversary of Frozen, but also the 100th anniversary for Disney. So anyway, you can kind of see her wing pattern here. They went for very crow-like wings, which is really cool. And it kind of goes around the back. You also have this here. It almost feels like this, I think maybe this side's the front. I'm not sure. But we have the wings kind of closed over. It says Disney Collector up here in the corner, and then Maleficent from the Darkness Descend series. And we have this really cool, if you can see in the M, it actually looks kind of like the head of the dragon, which is really cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and take this slip cover off. As I said, I have already looked at her, so it could have put the slip cover on backwards, but I'm not sure. This is going to be the back of the box. This is typically what we see on the back, which is a description. So it says, "Stand back, you poor simple fools. Maleficent will leave anyone who approaches her spellbound." From the 1959 classic movie, Disney's Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent has become one of Disney's most wickedly loved villains. This special collector's edition captures her dramatic transformation from her fiendish fairy into a fearless, fire-breathing dragon, with majestic dragon wings and green flames engulfing her scaly back, black and purple gown. Maleficent is depicted in mid-transformation, and Prince Philip would do well to heed her warning. The mistress of all evil will not go down without a fiery fight. Which, dragons, who doesn't love dragons? So that's why I love Maleficent, because I'm a huge fan of dragons, and she turns into dragons. So this is really cool. Like I said, that mid-transformation design. This is Mattel Creations, and on the sides we have some of the brambles and the fire, and then when we turn around, here is Maleficent. Now I will take this plastic part off because it, creates reflection, but it's pretty cool. It's not just a normal dust cover. It does have these flames down here to accentuate that flame motif, and then it also says Maleficent up here in the corner. This is pretty cool. Well, we're going to put that to the side. And as always, I like to point out that I do unbox my dolls, but I do keep their boxes. They are pretty easy to rebox with the Mattel Creations box designs. However, again, I unbox her anyway, so it's fine with me. I did notice when I looked at her the first time that this plastic tie actually broke. It's one of the first times I've ever had that happen to me, but it did break, making the wing a little loose, but it does stay in enough. So it is fine. But it's just something to note that that did happen. But again, damage to the box, not that big a deal, especially because the outer box is fine and everything else. So we can go ahead and start taking her parts out. Now her wings are separate currently from her body, but they do have these little spots here where they're going to attach. So that will be interesting when we get there. I actually, and there's her other wing. I think this whole thing might come out. Oof, it does. All right, that's going to make it much easier to get her in and out. Hopefully. It's really cool. It has, oh, look. Oh, so she has, there's the castle in the back. You can't really see it because of her head, but it's back there. But this is like the rock cliff and then more of the brambles. And I think, all right, so it's here at the bottom is her certificate. Hey, I'm sorry, it's a little bit of a jump cut, but I knocked the camera over while I was taking their certificate out, and I decided to just go ahead and unbox her while I had the video paused anyway. And there was probably a little bit better way to do it in such a way to preserve like the repackaging ability of the box, because it was still packaged with, you know, a lot of these like ties and stuff that you can usually just undo and redo, but I just ended up cutting her out just because it was taking a while and I just wanted to get her out. But the state that she's in is completely out of the box. The box is in good condition. She can still be displayed inside the box, just not really reboxable per se, but you know, you can use rubber bands like you would with a doll that doesn't have those reusable ties. The reason why I have her facing this way is so you can see her back. Before I put the other one on. So right now I have one wing on, but here's the other wing. So there's some holes here in her back. And then there's just these pegs and they stick into those holes, and then you just push until it's in her back. There we go. And then they sit nice and flush and nice and sturdy on her back. They are very, very heavy. All right. So we will go ahead and look at her certificate, since I was able to get that out. It says, a certificate that your Disney's Darkness Descends series, Maleficent doll, was created through the collaborative efforts of Disney designers and artists at Mattel. Again, no signature, unlike the Monster High ones. I'm gonna put that to the side. Now, the other thing I was going to say is I did look. She is $150 on Mattel Creations. She is currently still available, and she is listed as part of the Disney 100. You just have to search, because there is, on Mattel Creations, when you are on the website, there are filters on the side that you can kind of, you know, look through different, like, collections and stuff. Unfortunately, I saw the only, like, one that kind of might have led to the right spot did not lead to the right spot, because one of the collections was Disney Princess, but it was definitely very only the Disney Princess dolls. None of the, like, Alice wasn't showing up or anything like that. So I just searched Disney and was able to find her. There may be other ways, but I wasn't spending a lot of time on the website looking for her specifically. I just wanted to take a quick peek and see if she was still available. Again, as of filming this video on Christmas Day, she is available and $150. Her accessories, besides the wings, are going to be this staff. So it does have her crow at the top. And I remembered his name this morning and cannot think of it right now. Diablo. There we go. Her crow Diablo, but he is in this green iridescent. And then we have her staff. He is attached to it, and it does go all the way down. Again, it is that iridescent, but you can kind of see it is a kind of scaly like texture all the way down it, and it has a little handle that she can hold with, and it can actually stay in her hand pretty well without you having to keep it on or rubber band it or anything, which is really nice. She has a very large and elaborate stand, but it is because it is literally part of her design as a doll. Again, because the idea is mid-transformation, which is why she has very fiery design going on. And then she has the big wings on the back because if you'll remember, yes, the Maleficent from the live action movie has wings at some point, but typically the animated one does not usually have wings unless she is in her dragon form. So this is, again, her like mid-transformation sequence, which is really cool. So she has, you know, these, I'm not sure if they have a specific name, but they kind of drape all the way down, and they are a silky material, and they have this flame pattern all the way around the edges and printed on here. And it does have 2 layers. Same on this side. And then we have her skirt that is I'm assuming faux leather. It goes all the way around. It is kind of pleated. It's really cute. And it has, again, that flame cut here at the bottom. It does have nice stitching everywhere. Very good, sturdy detail. It is attached to this pleather part of her dress up here at the top, which is attached to these sleeves. However, her pulpits here, so these shoulder bits and this collar are one piece, but this is an additional piece that can be removed. It is currently rubber banded to her, so we're not going to remove that right now. But the skirt, the skirt and dress, I believe, are multiple layers, because when you look at the back, we can unvelcro the dress and skirt, and there is another layer right here. Probably can't see it very well, but there is a second layer underneath. So I think this green part here, I think, is a separate skirt. So yeah, just pantster. But yeah, this is a separate skirt. We'll go ahead and take her off the stand really quick for a moment so we can fix that. Oops, pulled out for a shoe. Oh my goodness. We'll take a quick look at this. So this is like a mermaid style skirt. It has this part here, and then it flares out. It has a lighter layer and then a darker green layer, again with all those flame parts. It just has a cinch waist, so we should be able to just slide it back up. Which, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but Maleficent is one of my favorite Disney villains. I have a Doorables of her that's usually sitting around somewhere on my set. Right now it's hiding because of the Christmas Barbie. Maleficent and Oogie Boogie are like my 2 favorite villains. And Hans too, but Hans doesn't usually get any love, so. All right. I will fix that a little bit better later on, but we do have built into her sculpt the same green material on her legs, again because her legs are kind of turning into flame and disappearing as she transforms into the dragon. I did not realize that I knocked her wings off. Apparently those can come back off, which is fine. We'll put those back on her in a moment. Now I believe she just has a traditional body sculpt, except for obviously this spot for her wings, which I do appreciate that they gave her this nice open back for the wings, so they don't have to like fight with the fabric or anything like that to stay on her back, or cut any holes in the dress, so it looks, fine with or without the wings. And then we have her shoes, which are going to be that same translucent green. If you look closely, you can see that they're kind of dragon-like feet. Kind of see how the little toes there and the claws. And then this part looks like a dragon tail, which is really cool. It's a very interesting design with the little bit bigger toe area that leads into a smaller stand. And then we have spikes all the way up the sides. Very, very neat. Again, that same translucent green because she is turning into flames at the bottom, which is also leads to her very unique stand. Her stand is the same kind of clip as Alice, which is really nice because I wish more dolls came with one like this. So this is how you should properly do a saddle stand. It has the saddle in the center so that they don't have to have the waist clip because they're wearing a dress. But then it has these nice clips on the side that actually keep their legs attached to the saddle stand so they don't just slide back and forth in this little, you know, stirrup that doesn't do a heck of a lot. I know that they only gave these two because they do have such a heavy design, but I wish that we got this more often because, like, how much more is this tiny little bit of plastic? Then for her base stand, so this is again part of her design. So it is a unique base stand. It is the flames, again in that same translucent green, which is very nice because her skirt can kind of flare out over it, and kind of like make this all like one very connected design, which I think is really neat. Before we get to the last part, which is going to be her head and face, we'll just take a quick look at her wings. So they do have a little bit of a iridescence to them, which I think is really cool. You can kind of see it up here in the higher feathers. Again, quite crow-like in my opinion, especially for dragon wings, but I suppose they are scaly, but they almost look like feathers rather than scales. But I'm not, like, I just think that's kind of an interesting design and not necessarily a bad design. I think that's really interesting, again, because she does have a lot of, like, crow in her iconography, so the kind of that combination of crow and dragon, at least in my opinion, is really neat. And then the little talon here at the top of the wing, and again those little pegs that will just stick it into her back, which I will put those back on in just a moment. Now for her head, it is a completely unique face sculpt. Here you can see that that part is kind of like a necklace as well. Okay, so those are like the dragon head designs around here. You can see that it's kind of the little dragon head. So anyway, her sculpt, her head is a completely unique sculpt, not only because it gives her her high cheekbones and her pointed chin, but also her headdress is attached to this sculpt. So it is not removable, but that's almost kind of a, like, it's kind of nice that it's not removable, then you don't have to worry about losing it, and then it's, I mean, not that it could ever be anyone but Maleficent, but like it's always Maleficent. So like it has a very nice base doll as well, on top of having the really cool aesthetic outfit. She has a dark purple lip and some bright green eyeshadow and super high arched eyebrows. Absolutely stunning, as Maleficent always is. She even has black underneath from the remainder of her headdress. It goes all the way around. And we have some scaling here on the back of the headdress as well, which is really neat because that's kind of, you know, details that you don't really get to see, but it is there, and I always love hidden details like that. It is, if I can turn her head enough. There are some little details here on the side as well. Very, very cool. Absolutely stunning. We can take a closer look at her pulpits as well. They're kind of scaled. Excuse me. It does have this neck piece that goes down into here. This is, like I said, all one connected piece, but is removable. And then we can just flare out her skirt a little bit. And I'll zoom out so you can kind of see. Flare her skirt a little bit. Pull her legs just apart enough to get her down. And then just slide her on, and then you're going to pull the skirt over so that she fits onto her stand nice. Fix the layers, and like I said, you can kind of pull them out and flare them around so then they kind of blend that stand right into her design, which I think is so unique and really cool, to not only just have like that nice subtle saddle stand that holds her up really strong, but also, you know, doesn't squisher affect the look here, but also to have the base of the stand blend in so nicely into her skirt and design, I think is just phenomenal. That's not something that we see a lot, so I think that this was had a lot of thought put into it. Which I believe this was the first Disney collector doll that they released, if I remember correctly. Because they just recently got the rights back to the Disney dolls for Mattel. So I believe that this is, at least of the new wave, you know, the return of the Disney license to Mattel. I believe this was the first collector doll that they released. So to see this much quality and detail in their first collector doll for this series is pretty cool. Very impressive. I'm very, very happy with her. Again, I do have to, you know, remind everyone that as much as I love her, and I do think that she is worth the $150, I did get her for a Christmas present, so I did not pay the $150 for her, just so that, you know, we're clear. But I very much think that she's definitely a high-end collector doll. She has a nice box. My only complaint with the box is that the dust cover doesn't open. I know that, like, even with some of those collector dolls, the box doesn't like to stay open, and like that's fine, but like it doesn't even like have the option of the flaps to open. It's just a slide off, and then like all the information is on the underside, so it's almost like you're supposed to just remove that and display her without it, which is fine, especially because then you can see her a little bit better. But I don't know, it's not, I don't know. It's different. It's not necessarily bad, but it's different. And then the overall design I think is amazing. Like I said, I love the unique stand. I'm glad that they gave her the good saddle stand. She does have a lot of weight to her, so she's not really it's going to be interesting to find a place for her because she is so large. Like, I mean, Alice is also pretty big, but like she trumps Alice in size. And Alice, like I said, is also pretty big, so it'll be interesting to try and find a place for her, but I'm ecstatic. Maleficent, like I said, is one of my favorite villains, and I'm so happy to have this one. Thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed this video, and will certainly enjoy both of my presents. Once again, just in case I haven't already said it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you do so, it will really help out the channel. It will also help you if you enjoy our content. It'll help you to find us again. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I know I just said that for a third time. And we'll see you so very soon in the next one. Bye.